What are y'all doing? Well, I appreciate you being here. We got Josh Grover and Mac Pierce waiting. Got here early, pretending they like me. It's so cool. I had somewhat of a crappy day. I didn't get much sleep, or I slept too much, maybe. But the internet people were supposed to come today and give us a second line, so I didn't have to compete with the Xbox in the house. But they never showed up, so that's lovely. That's why I didn't do a live stream earlier, as I was waiting for them to get their stuff done, or get here and get their stuff done, and then I was going to go out live after that, and they never showed up. So I'm real tickled with them. Hello, Mimi Lord, watching over on Facebook. I mean, there's nothing worse than when you structure your day around somebody that's supposed to come, whether it's a technician, whatever the case may be. No call, no show. So that's just freaking lovely. Yeah, Josh Grover, if I want to stay alive, I better not unplug that Xbox. Herb Pooper says hello, Charles, and hello to you, Herb. And Mac Pierce says, oh, yeah, lovely for sure, Charles. I don't know how they get away with running a business that way they do. Agreed. And Pat H has joined us. Thank you for being here, sir. Yeah. I that really is. Other than the fact that I took a nap, I had my phone on, so it would notify me when the technician was here, and that phone never rang, and the technician never showed up. So I woke up in a lovely mood. But we try not to bring that to these live streams. Mr. John Nave says, watched another video with you laughing so hard you were in tears. Yes, sir. That's kind of what I do. It's never intentional, but it's always fun. Joe Castillo, hello, sir. He says, hi, Charles, and hello right back at you. Appreciate y'all being here. I won't waste too much time. I've thrown the link out to a few people. If they show up, cool. If not, by God, we can do this. I just have to stop to read comments and questions every now and then. But let me set up the camera right directly. And we're going to continue with this hair here. The only reason I was concerned, because I didn't want to be doing a live stream and then have the technician show up, and then because there would probably have to be some kind of disconnect while he was doing everything, so I didn't want that to happen. So I waited and waited and waited and waited. So now I'm sending out my praises to CenturyLink. Thanks a lot. But as long as Xbox isn't taxing the internet, we should be good tonight. And God willing, unless something technical happens, I'm going to make myself finish this tonight. So this could be a very long stream, just throwing that out there. Y'all need to know that. Because if I put it in the description, or in the title, I'm going to have to stick to it. So this could be a long one, and some of y'all might be saying, well, get going and you'll get done quicker. Well, that's true, but I got to acknowledge everybody coming in. Mac Pierce says, we'll just try to lift your spirits, Charles. Well, by golly. Florence Follen is back. She says, what do you do to keep from breaking delicate parts? Try to scroll them to where they don't break. But let me acknowledge all the comments, and then I'll address that, Florence. Roger Beaver says, hello, Charles, and hello, Roger Beavers. John N., he says, getting tea from the house. Josh Grover, did you refill Dr. Pepper stash? You bet your hind end I did, by God. It's 3/4 full, so thank you for caring enough to ask. Joe Castillo says, we were down all day yesterday here. I'm sorry to hear that. Kim McCrory, our Mankini, who says, hey, Charlie, and hey, buddy. Mac Pierce says, Josh, I think he would be in a coma if he didn't have his DP. Amen. To answer your question, Florence, what I do when I'm dealing with an area that could break, at least while scrolling, what you do is just put your fingers as close as you can to the blade, and that'll stabilize the piece. As close as you can get to that blade without being into it, because that blade won't go anywhere unless it breaks. And this is a spiral. The teeth are on all sides, but it's actually, you get more of a cut with a flat blade because all the teeth are on the front. But the quick answer to a quick question was how to stabilize, or what do you do when you're working on a brittle area? You put your fingers as close as you can to your comfort level. Appreciate y'all being here, and by golly, we're going to get started. Any comments or questions you have, feel free to throw them out there, but please know when I'm the only one here, on the stream, I have to stop every now and then to read comments and questions, so that will be part of the delays besides my babbling. But I try to have some content in my babbling, even if it's comedy. Beginner questions are encouraged because we all got to start somewhere, and nobody's going to give you crap for it. And 9 times out of 10, people in the chat there. By the way, the chat is most active on YouTube, and it's also in order, and the video quality is usually better on YouTube. But y'all let me know if we start getting a lot of pixelization. That will mean the Xbox is taxing the connection. Hopefully it won't, because it's not fair to them when I have to say, hey, can you find another game to play? So there's that. One more comment and I'll get going. Leonard Davis says, sorry, not tonight. Pats are playing. See you all later. Well, thank you for coming in to say that, Leonard. Hopefully, I don't even know who they're playing, but I hope they lose. Anyway, getting going. Working with number 5 flat-ended spirals, Flying Dutchman. 22-inch Hegner is the saw I'm using. Hoping to get the Seiko strollers drill soon. I sent off an email to Ray over at Seiko.com to ask them the status of that, and looking forward to that. Seiko is spelled SEYCO.com. Hegner is spelled HEGNER, but the website to get one, at least the like parts and the saws themselves, advancedmachinery.com, and they are based in Delaware, but it's a German-made saw. And Flying Dutchman blades are actually manufactured in Germany as well. Their initial brand name is Nequa, but when it came to the U.S., they gave it the name Flying Dutchman. Josh Grover says, Florence, another way to stabilize delicate part is to put the cutout back in as you cut surrounding areas. Yes, that's definitely what I do when I'm sanding. Lawrence Bolin says, I have your pattern with Mount Rushmore and the Indians. That would be Founding Fathers, and thank you, ma'am. Yes, it's going to take a long time. Yeah, it's one of those things you kind of hate me while you're working on it, but then when you get done, there's a sense of pride of what you accomplished. I go through that when I cut my own design, so there's that. So this will not be a short live stream unless technical difficulties knock me off. I plan on trying to finish this on this live stream. I probably should have looked at it before I said that, but I might have lied to y'all. Something may happen, or I just may fall asleep and not be able to finish it, but I'm going to do everything I can to do that. But I have to stop and read comments and questions every now and then, and I'll keep trying to keep everything into the frame of the camera. Got 16 people watching. I appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday, if it's still Saturday where you are. There really is no rhyme or reason of where I go from where the pilot hole is drilled. I just pick a spot and go to it. Had a meeting with the Team Scroll Saw guys today, and we have one more meeting scheduled for next Saturday. We should have everything lined out and ready to promote and announce. But I want to reiterate that Team Scroll Saw is not about us guys hosting the show. It's about the community. It's about everybody. We just happen to be the ones talking about it and promoting it. But it's about everybody. Beginners, veterans, in between. and we decided we're going to create I'm 99% positive we're going to create our own channel for Team Scroll Saw Live. I believe that's what the name of the show is going to be, Team Scroll Saw Live, and I will give you all the details as I know them, but you'll also probably see promotion in every single one of the scrolling groups that we're parts of. I've been blocked from a few because I don't bow down to hard, iron-fisted people. That sounded harsher than I meant it to. Florence Boland says, my husband can't wait for me to finish it. Double stacking, sweet. Yeah, double stacking, double the pieces for the time of doing one. Josh Grover, you got a lot of little cuts to be able to finish tonight. Yes, sir, I do. That's why I probably should have looked at the piece before I vowed to finish it tonight, but you never know. Hello, Tommy Hickson. Thank you for joining us, sir. Florence Boland, love his patterns, have a lot of them. Sweet. Josh Grover, so the brains got together finally. Yeah, it's hard to narrow down a time with two of them being in the UK, one being in Baltimore, and two of us being in Texas. So we are going to schedule same time, same channel, or same meeting next weekend. We should have it narrowed down, but we got a lot of little details out there ironed down. Mac Pierce says, I wonder if work gets done at these meetings or if it's mostly laughter. There's a little bit of laughter, but believe it or not, we were actually, for the most part, productive during it. Yeah. And that's one of the things we talked about. You know, we're going to be ourselves and be funny, but we do want to have it structured. We need to be family friendly because all ages will be watching it and stuff like that. So we have to somewhat, you know, keep those little innuendos out and stuff like that. But Florence Poland says, but I'm not lucky enough to be in the shop all the time due to truck driver and how only 4 days a month. I get jealous. I'm sorry. Josh Grover says, Mac, probably more laughing. Well, there was a little bit of laughing because that just happens, but we got a lot accomplished. Mac Pierce, that's what I'm thinking also, Joshua. Both of y'all don't know us very well. I'm kidding, y'all know us pretty well, but yeah, there was a little bit of laughing, but you know, we talked about what needed to be talked about. There's still a couple other little details, but one of the meeting members had to leave for either work or some kind of something that was important. So we'll iron it out next Saturday, and we should have particulars to let the public know about. But it may not be a weekly show. It might be a bi-weekly show. Little things like that we're trying to iron out. I don't know what details I can announce yet because certain things are still being ironed out. I just noticed that I forgot to finish that cut, so I'll have to come back to that one after I cut this one. Kim McCrory says JP will get Charlie going. Yeah, that's probably guaranteed, but hopefully not. It's fun, but it can derail the heck out of a show. So 99% of my derailing is unintentional, but you know, the whole Bubba thing I did, you know, trying to be funny. Team Scroll Saw won't be as comedy based because we want to get knowledge and stuff like that out there, but also I can't stress this enough. It's not about us as the host. It's about the community being all inclusive, beginners, veterans. Because some people will do shows and it's all about them, and we don't want that to happen at all. Because I think when things work, it's because people can relate to them. So we want to make the show relatable, inclusive. We didn't come up with the official name for the show until today, you know, because that was one of those minor details that you throw in at the last second. It's not mandatory to have it right off the bat. So the show will, unless something changes, the show will be called Team Scroll Saw Live, and it will have its own YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure that's what we decided on. Oh, I need to go back to that one cut and cut those little bitty cuts. If I can get the blade to stop sticking in those little cuts. Dang it. Josh Grover says, Kim McCrory, that's an understatement. Amen. Harnell Media, Mr. Steve Nealon says, hi all. Appreciate you being here, Mr. Steve Nealon. Florence Boland says, how long did it take you to trace that to the board? I don't remember. Probably about an hour or so. I don't remember. I truly don't. All right. And if anybody's watching for the first time, I do have to stop every now and then to stretch my back a little bit, maybe take a sip of Dr. Pepper, so that I don't end the show laying on the floor trying to stay conscious. Well, I'm trying not to be a babbling monkey tonight. Stop grinning, Steve. He's probably shaking his head, but he created that monster, so. All right, let's finish these 2 cuts I missed. Oh, great. Thank you, Steve. I think Steve likes me. He said, well, we wouldn't give you crap if we didn't like you. Well, dang, Nabbit don't like me so much. Trying to keep this piece right side up more so for the viewers than myself. It's a little more appealing to watch if you see everything right side up, not having to stand on your head to watch the video. But if you are looking for a quality website and a guy that works long hours to get those things done and dependable, good communicator, Steve Nealon of harnealmedia.com. That's HARNEAL, media, MEDIA.com. And then there's Makers Media Network. That is a application-based website and group network. Not guaranteed to get in, but you know, it never hurts to apply. MakersMediaNetwork.com. I believe the newest member is Mr. Russ Meadows, Rusty Nails with a Z Workshop. So congratulations to him. John Nave says, Billy Bob Bubba. Good question, Josh. And I missed. Yeah, he's back. Who's your mic? Appreciate you being here. Josh Grover says, is there an advantage to drawing patterns on the board versus 3M spray adhesive pattern to the wood? Josh, when I first started, I couldn't get anything to stick to the wood. And when I was using a spiral, it always tried to lift up the paper right there by the cut. And so that's what got me started tracing onto the wood. And after that, it was just therapeutic to do it. So I didn't go back trying any other methods. And I'm not going to read those other dang stupid hashtags because y'all are butt monkeys. Hashtag butt monkey. Some people. You think you got homies. Alright, take a drink. Where's the stupid pilot hole? I'm 50 miles from it. Really? It's going to be one of them nights, folks. if I'm wanting to get this done tonight, we have to reduce the amount of times I have that issue. Looking right at it, still can't get it going. The size of the piece is not helping. And I was 30 miles away that time. I wasn't even getting the one I wanted. It's getting to the point of whichever pilot hole I can get it through, I'm going. Yep, there we go. Hoosier Mike said, just got his notification and he's 17 minutes late. That's weird. Josh, gonna need more tea tonight, I can tell. Yep, I can tell too. Which is lovely. I'm not going to have trouble finding the pilot hole because I'm going to start out with the light. Because that one pilot hole is the one I couldn't find earlier, so now I have something to work off of, I think. God almighty. Better late than never. No, Josh Grover, I'm not having trouble finding a pilot hole. I always aim for a specific one when I start under there, and that's when I have trouble finding a pilot hole. That's what's happening, is trying to find the one that I'm intending to feed the blade through. So that's, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of pilot holes through there, but yeah, I was aiming for this one, and that's the one I couldn't find. Good evening, Mr. Tim Karp. Appreciate you being here, sir. Any comments or questions y'all have, feel free to throw them out there. But please know I do have to stop to read them, so when I'm not scrolling, that's why. Let me get some of these other little cuts here before I move to the other side of the head. I do have some number 3s loaded up, but I haven't found a reason to use them yet unless I run out of number 5s. Hello, Mr. Portal Woodworks. David Jones and Harnell Media is saying hello to David. If y'all want to be on the panel and promise not to call me a babbling monkey, I'll throw you the link. But if I know them, they might say no promises. If y'all want me to pull back the camera back a little bit, I can, but the further back I go, the more the webcam tries to autofocus. So we're probably at a comfortable distance right now, but I guess we'll find out. But at least for my designs, these little bitty cuts are unnecessary evil, because those little bitty cuts combined make detailed hair. So that's what we're dealing with. Yeah, I kind of figured. Steve Nealon says, so that leaves me out when I said, if you don't call me a babbling monkey. And Portal Woodwork says he's not family friendly tonight, so I guess we're doing this alone, folks. Tim Carp says he's had better luck using the blue painter's tape and then spraying the pattern with the 3M spray. Yeah, a lot of people have that method down pat. Again, I don't know if it's still the case, but back when I tried to do it, the spiral was pulling up the pattern. That could be crappy adhesive, whatever the case is, but it really is therapeutic for me to just sit there and trace it onto the wood with carbon paper underneath. And I'm all right with that. This is the pattern we're working on. If you would like to cut it at any point, go to woodenvisions.com/shop/warrior. And as soon as this one's done, the next project will be this one. I don't have the exact link to it in my head right now, but at least 2 or 3 changes I'm going to make is making some of these lines wider. So I'll re-upload it to the site. It's available right now, but some of these lines are just ridiculously skinny, which sometimes I look at my older patterns and do that. But that was voted to be our next live stream, or next project, whenever that live stream may occur. And for those that don't know, my biopsy has been scheduled for Friday, January 10th at 9:30 in the morning, Central Time. And whether or not I do a one-eyed scrolling live feed depends on if I'm drugged up or not for anxiety. If I can get by without taking the meds, then we're pretty likely going to do a live stream. But it just depends on how that day goes. But when I take my meds, trying to prevent a panic attack, or because of a panic attack, it drains me for 2 days. So you just never know. It was good to have all those guys on the panel last night. I can't speak for the viewers, but it's always fun for me when people join in. But I do value y'all's feedback on, whether or not you like having panel members here. It helps me as far as reading comments and questions if they choose to do so. But yeah. We got 18 people watching. If you have any comments or questions, please put them out there and I will respond, or somebody in the chat might. When they're not being mean to me. I think we only broke 1 blade yesterday. I'm sorry for all you folks that want the drinking game. And as with any design of mine, if you can find a way to combine cuts to lessen the amount of cuts, then go for it. As long as it won't make it fall apart, you're welcome to. I just design it from pictures, and I I try to stick to the detail and the shadows in the picture. Uh, Sorry. Ron Norris says even my feedback, yes sir, but I'm still waiting to hear back from the artist, so don't bring up the dang deer because I have to get permission. Josh Grover says half the panel fails their job and doesn't read comments. Agreed. It's never mandatory, but it's helpful. But I wouldn't say it's their job necessarily. It's just a good benefit for me because I can keep scrolling. Joe Castillo, I may be old, but ready to learn more. By golly, I don't think we're ever too old to learn. Who's Your Mike says, I get a shot in my eye every few weeks. Macular degeneration. You'll be okay, Charles. I know I'll be okay. It's logic doesn't always help to prevent a panic attack. A panic attack's just the joy of being a chemical imbalance. Tim Carp, how about them Texans? Go J.J. Watts. What are they? Is that who's playing the Patriots? I don't know who's playing the Patriots, but yeah, I'd love to see the Patriots lose. And if Dallas Cowboys ain't in there, it wouldn't bother me to see the Texans in there. My guess is the Ravens will be in the Super Bowl. I'm not entirely sure who the other team will be, but maybe the 49ers. I have no idea. Ron Norris says, last thing on my mind is something I'm not going to read. It's okay. Nice try though, Ron. Yeah, I saw a brief headline that the Patriots were about to start a game, but it didn't say who they were playing, and I didn't feel like researching because I had a live stream to do. Because I care about you people. I'm sorry, Ron. Time for a swig of my energy juice. Tim Carp says, no, sir, the Texans beat the Bills. Patriots are playing the Tennessee Titans. Okay. Tennessee Titans used to be the Houston Oilers, I believe, and then they moved over to Tennessee, and there you go. I could be wrong on that, but I'm somewhat confident. There's some good stuff, and I need to occasionally check, make sure YouTube has stopped holding my dang live streams hostage. Helper review crap. They didn't waste any time last night, or whenever the heck I was last here. My days and nights are so strung together. Okay, it's not helper review yet. Alright, we'll get on back over here. I gotta get another computer mouse for this dang laptop. I hate using that little sliding finger pad thing. Ron Norris says, you're right, used to be the Oilers. Okay, cool. And David Jones says the same thing. Joe Castillo. Remember Warren Moon, the quarterback for the Oilers? That's the only name I remember besides Earl Campbell. Click, click. Yeah, the click, click on for me is the laptop push pad, the little thing where you slide your finger around to navigate the mouse, or the cursor. I don't like using that. I like having a computer mouse you could plug the USB into a laptop. Makes it much quicker for me, but I don't have one because my other one went to crap and I got to get another one, but I'm literally dead broke, so I just deal with the headaches. Tennessee lost the Super Bowl, says David Jones of Portal Woodworks. I remember when the Dallas Cowboys got that newfangled, outstanding stadium, and then they lost their first game in it. That was not a good introduction. And if anybody remotely cares, probably not, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. A lot of people are saying, why are the Dallas Cowboys waiting so long to get rid of Jason Garrett? Well, his contract doesn't run out till January 14th, so they don't necessarily have to announce that they're letting him go. It won't be called fired unless he's let go before the 14th. But they did interview Mike McCarthy today, who was the Super Bowl winning coach for the Green Bay Packers. I don't know the results of that, but they're interviewing him. And Ron Norris says Dan Pastorain, or however you spell it. I don't never heard that name, so I can't help you there. I remember Warren Moon and Earl Campbell's. Is it Earl Campbell? Yeah. He now does sausage. Earl Campbell sausage. I don't know where Warren Moon is at. And Mr. Awesome Man Bill is here. Bill, I was thinking of you yesterday, not in a romantic way, but I was looking for koala bear. And that's actually a misnomer. Koalas are not bears. They're actually marsupials. A lot of people think they're bears, but they are not. But I was looking through pictures of koalas. So that will happen at some point. No, I have not found any other holes for you yet for you to win, Bill. Sorry. Might get lucky on my part because it's less embarrassing. But this doesn't count towards the little contest we had, but there's some areas up here where I drew that border. I forgot to draw that border when I was drilling the pilot holes, and some of those fell past the border, so I'll have to re-drill them in here, but that doesn't count as a missed one because they're actually drilled. So I may have to alter slightly doing up here at the border. Hopefully y'all can see that border. I usually do a 1/2-inch border around frameable pieces so to get something for that frame to hold on to and some structure and stability to the piece. It's more so prominent when the piece doesn't have a background, but this one does, a wooden background. So Russ Meadows, hey guys. Hello, Mr. Russ Meadows. And Aussie Man is saying that's correct. Probably where I was saying koala, people call them koala bears, but they are not bears. They're marsupials, which I believe is the same thing as a kangaroo, that same animal family, so to speak. And Chris Nealon says, thank you, Portal. But I guess he was given the score. I don't know what right now it's Patriots 10. I think it's Patriots 10 and Tennessee 7. Go Tennessee. Yes, Patriots 10. Tennessee Titans 7. And anybody wondering what the heck I'm talking about, it's NFL football crap. Hoosier Mike says, I remember Walter Payton for the Bears. Yes, I remember him too. And now Russ Meadows is on YouTube as Rusty Nails with a Z, Woodshop. Yeah, I remember all kinds of names on other teams. I was just referring to the Houston Oilers. Yeah. Lawrence Taylor was the one that broke Joe Theismann's leg. He was on the Bears, I believe. Often referred to as LT. Oh, really? Take a drink. I'm the only one that's upset when I break a blade. Y'all celebrate because you're evil. For those that don't know, we have a drinking game, whatever you choose to drink. Whenever I break a blade or have trouble finding the pilot hole for feeding the blade through, everybody takes a drink of their particular beverage. For me, it's Dr. Pepper. Oh, LT was a New York Giant. I'm sorry, I thought he was a Chicago Bear. At least when he broke Joe Theismann's leg, I thought, yeah, okay, I guess I was wrong. Which happens every now and then. Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. I have to redo the tension. Oh. Sometimes I just do the tension by feel rather than plucking the blade. Which, when you use a certain saw for a while, you'll get that feel for it. Even when a little slight change in sound, you know something's about to happen or is happening. Squid Russ. Watched LT play at UNC Tar Heels, University of North Carolina, by the way. Great linebacker. Ron Norris says Ken Stabler, also quarterback for the Oilers back in the day. Didn't he move over to the Raiders at one point? I remember Plunkett from the Raiders and Dan Fouts for the Chargers, blah, blah, blah. Best linebacker in the business. By the way, Rusty Nails Woodshop, which is Russ Meadows, is the newest member, unless something has happened since then. Newest member of Makers Media Network. So congratulations, Mr. Russ. There were some good players back in the day. I remember Randy White from the Dallas Cowboys. I can name a lot more Dallas Cowboys than any other players, but Randy White was a beast. Of course, now the league is all soft because God forbid somebody get hurt, which obviously we don't want people to get hurt, but it was much rougher back then. These days they coddle the quarterback. You perhaps practically have to give them a pillow before you tackle them. Rusty Nail says, thank you, Charles. I promise to remember the little people now that I'm uppity. That's funny right there. And you'll notice my fingers are not right up there next to the blade. It's because I don't have any fears of anything vibrating loose. Sometimes that'll come back to bite me, but so far it hadn't. Yeah, Randy White played along with Too Tall Jones. I believe they called him Ed Too Tall Jones, or just Too Tall Jones. There's a lot of Cowboys. I remember Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith, obviously, Troy Aikman. They were the triplets: Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and Troy Aikman. They thought Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, and Ezekiel Elliott were going to be the triplets, but this year they kind of sucked. But then again, the Cowboys, even those original triplets, weren't awesome every single game or season. Mark 2A, who else? All kinds of folks. But I was trying not to be biased to the Cowboys, but you went and made me go there. I will do everything I can to get this piece finished tonight, so it may not be a short stream, and hopefully my consciousness can hold out. Roger Staubach, Danny White, Dandy Don Meredith, Dallas logo is not a logo, it's their status. And I don't know if that's a dig because of their stars, or it's a single star. He might mean rating. But if that's the case, kiss my hind end. Hollywood Henderson. There's that. Walt Garrison. There's a lot of names through the years. Rating, I kind of figured because Josh is so sweet like that. I was on to you, Josh. Pothole issues, take a drink. Come on. I'm going to have y'all drunk in no time. If you're drinking alcohol. Got 20 people watching. I appreciate you. You do not have to stay on topic. All I ask is you stay family friendly. Feel free to throw any comments or questions out there. If they're something I can read, I will read them because there's nobody else here to read them. So Rand Tarkenton was just like Staubach, hard to tackle. Yep. Then he went on to host one of the 3 hosts of it. That's incredible. I missed that show. Golden Richards. Tom Landry was excellent coach, as was Jimmy Johnson. My supervisor at work is a Dallas fan, and we give him crap all the time. Yeah, people like to do that. But the best comeback for that is dogs don't bark at parked cars. Just saying. Think about that one, by golly. I didn't get that clamp real good. Y'all might have heard that little rattle. I don't know what y'all can hear now that I have this mouth mic. Mac Pierce says the only sports team I follow is the Blue Devils, and that's only because it's my high school team. Rusty Nails Woodshop says, I clicked the link you sent me, Charles, but it didn't work. Well, maybe I sent you the wrong one because I'm an idiot. Get away from me, you damn fly. Sorry. Apparently I need a shower. We're going to try again, Mr. Russ. Dagnabbit. I didn't start doing that till he was on with Wes. It's like, dag blabbit. I got a fly I'm about to murder, but it won't be still. Ladies and gentlemen, your newest Makers Media Network member. What's up? How you is?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm just spiffalicious, I guess. God, that fly is annoying the crap out of me. It keeps landing right on top of my glasses. I could handle it if it buzzed around every now and then, but dagnabbit, I'm trying to say, apparently he's not a fan of scroll saws.
Oh, Josh Grover says the fly sent the wrong link.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me.
Did I send you the wrong link? I thought
it didn't work for me the first time. I clicked it again, and I was able to get in.
Oh, so you didn't get a case of the red honey?
No. What the hell is this? But it's working now. So
Well, that's cool. All right, so I'm going to move on over to this here Native American thingy.
Knock her out, baby. Get her done.
Yeah, buddy. Nice way to try to distract me. Yeah, you know what I'm doing. I can tell by the tone of your voice. Let's distract him. He won't say, "Don't you do it." Go ahead and do it. I'm scrolling right now and I can't see you.
Carry on.
Carry on. He knew I was still gonna look at him. He covered his camera like a booger. He acts like he knows me.
Well, I thought you knew me, but you keep calling me that West dude. I
I
don't know what
know,
that
man.
is.
And I didn't start doing that till you were on with Wes. I've never called you Wes before that.
I know.
Yeah.
Josh says, I got about a half a jug left of Snapple there, Josh.
Well, welcome to Makers Media Network, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's oodles and oodles of fun.
I can't believe I waited this long to even apply.
Well, these things happen. Apparently, people need to work, bills need paid, houses need worked on, wives need appeased. You and your wife are a big fan of taking cruises, aren't you?
Kind of, sort of. She's more of a fan of it than I am.
Yeah, I was going to ask what the appeal of it is, but people like to just get out there and see it. I guess I don't know. I've never.
Well, I thought that since I had been in the Navy, I'd already seen water.
Yeah.
And I really didn't care about it one way or the other.
Yeah.
But she likes it, and so I go for her. I go for her more than the going for myself. But I actually did do the cruise coming up in January of 2021 is the Woodworkers and Makers Cruise.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you want me to plug that or not.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Well, we are. This cruise is one I started up, and we've got several woodworkers and makers that are going at this point. There's like 7 or 8 of us couples, and it's for woodworkers, makers, and friends, family, anybody that wants to go. And it's January of 2021.
Sweet.
And it's an 8-day cruise. We're going to St. Martin, St. Kitts, and San Juan, and can't remember the other place. Oh, Grand Turk. Yeah, it's been a long time since I thought about where we were going. But yeah, we're going to those places. And like I said, it's an 8-day cruise leaving out of Port Canaveral.
Well, you'll be able to find out who's the most popular or least popular person there if anybody goes overboard. Mysterious.
Well, there have been some, but I tell you what, you have to be trying to go over them rails. They're high up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to be trying, or somebody has to be really mad at you.
I've done that to a couple. I was going to ask you or tell you something. I can't remember it now, but go on. Do whatever you got to do, baby.
But yeah, that's what we're doing. And if anybody wants to know any more information about that, there's a Facebook event created for it. You can look up in the events. You can look up Woodworkers and Makers Cruise and find out all the information.
I think one reason why the thought of a cruise. You remember how I told you the regarding anxiety?
Right.
Being away from home kind of thing, but also. I have a major phobia of throwing up, and maybe I've watched too many movies, but about people getting seasick on a cruise. Well, does that really happen? Or is it so stable you don't think
it does? It does. It does. My wife, she takes has Dramamine pills that she has, but I don't really get seasick. And Chris Ahern and I went on one with our wives, and we went to Curacao, we went to Aruba, and couple other places, and it was an 8-day cruise.
Wow.
And we had a good time. We had a real good time, and I had been thinking about doing this for quite some time, and finally was able to make it happen. And I think I want to try to make it if not a yearly thing, at least every 2 years or something, so you can afford to pay them off.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because you have to put a deposit down, and then you pay it so much a month, or however much you decide to, as long as you have it paid off by
that's
the due date. Yeah, you don't have to pay it all at once, which is a good thing. It's not like you got to pay it all at once. You don't. And
I always thought you did. So there's
I did too, but you don't. So that's been a godsend for my wife, because every time we'd go to Galveston, she'd see those cruise ships sitting out there. It's just, one day I'm going to be on one of those.
Golly.
And, I wasn't thrilled about it, but she was. And she first went with her sister. They went together and went to Cozumel and a couple other places. And I said, "You go with her. I'm fine with it. I stay home. I have 5 days in my shop. I ain't got to worry about nothing." And and all them times I didn't even got in the shop one time.
Well, if I could avoid,
Unbelievable.
If I could avoid being seasick, it'd be appealing. But
well, you know, that's the thing. A lot of people say that, and you know, you feel a rocking a little bit, but the key to that is not to worry about that. Just get in there and get you something in your stomach.
And don't look at the horizon. I think plays
don't worry about it. You know, there's so much to do, you don't even think about it.
It's like from the time we're kids, the cartoons have somebody turning green on a boat.
Yeah, it can be bad, but it's not really that bad. Those things are so stinking big that it's really got to be rough for you to hardly even feel it.
That's true. It's kind of like riding a Greyhound bus. I was scared to do that because of, you know, motion sickness and, you know, long trips.
Right.
Blah, 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 but it's very smooth on a good bus.
Yeah, it's smooth on that. I rode a bus. I used to do that when I was a kid, going cross country with my parents. And the wife and I took a train from Beaumont to Amtrak all the way to San Antonio.
Wow.
And took a little vacation over there for a few days.
That had to have taken a long time.
I don't remember how long it was. We stopped in Houston for an hour and then headed on to San Antonio. It was a fun trip. We'd never been on Amtrak. And so we decided to do it one day. It was a fun little trip.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to doing it again.
Yeah, I would if I could change one thing about my life, it'd be the ability to travel and not have issues.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
Chris Neal, and I'm not looking at the comment right now. I'm going by memory. Said he gained a lot of weight on a cruise and he loved it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It slipped off from live comments to private chat, so I just now got it back on live comment. He says the ships are too big to fill a thing, and that's pretty much the truth.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're humongous.
Right. If it's really, really, really bad, then you might feel a little bit. But I don't think I have a problem with seasickness.
Well, I was going to say if it was really bad, they shouldn't be having a cruise, but it is a big ship, so I get it. But Titanic was big too. Just saying.
Titanic doesn't hold a candle to the cruise ships nowadays.
That's true. They're like quadruple deckers.
They're really. Titanic was big, but for its time, but it don't hold nothing to. It's like a little P-row, we called it over here in Cajun land. Josh Grover says, if you don't think about getting sick, you don't get sick. He said 4 years on a U.S. Coast Guard cruise is like you're on land. It's so smooth, and that's pretty much the case.
Yeah, but and it sounds like I'm trying to be funny, but part of the problem with panic disorder is if you already fear something, it's amplified because it's a chemical imbalance that does it, but mental situations can encourage it. But that's part of trying to get over a panic attack is trying not to focus on it, but you find yourself in a trance, and that's what makes a panic attack worse.
Right.
So it really is literally trying to get your mind off of it.
Yeah. Aussie Man says put an earplug in one ear sometimes helps with seasickness.
That's a good point.
And you know, there's it's kind of funny because I didn't know this, but when we were on cruise, I would people watch, and you see all these people with a little bitty Band-Aid behind their ear.
Really?
And it's Dramamine. That's what you use to keep from getting seasick. I saw a lot of people with them things in their ear. I said, what the heck is in their ear?
Apparently something's going around biting ears.
They all got a damn bite right in the same spot. Yeah, and but then somebody told me that's what they get that, and it's a Dramamine patch, and you stay behind your ear, and it keeps you from getting seasick. But this guy Charles Thomas, he said, I won a ship trip, most terrible week in my life, from a bunch of grouchy old women complaining. Well, I'll tell you what, on a cruise, you can. There's always a way to get away from grouchy people.
Yeah, so there's only so far you can go. But
you can go, but they don't all follow you.
unless
you're pretty. If you're pretty, they might.
I've not been told yet that I'm pretty, so I think I'm safe.
Cruise ship karaoke.
Hell yeah!
If you give him a glass of scotch and he rules. Okay, well I kind of like to see that.
I love karaoke. I haven't done it in years, but I used to go every night of the week. That's how addicted I was.
You know, I've got Jim Bashirs.
Yeah.
Well, he's going. Him and his wife, and his wife is supposedly a really good singer.
Cool.
And so I'm hoping to grab her and get her into the karaoke.
Nice. I love karaoke.
Dang, David Porter Woodwork says if my cruise ship doesn't have fighter jets on it, I ain't going. Yeah, David was in the Navy, and just like I was, we both were on aircraft carriers, and I saw a lot of fighter jets and stuff, and it was a fun time.
Yeah.
But now I don't have to look at fighter jets. I get to look at pretty women and great scenery.
Nice. And string bikinis.
Well, I've seen some of that.
Yay.
But then I've seen some that shouldn't have been in them.
I knew that was coming. Kind of like
Can't help it. It cannot help it.
Like somebody in spandex. I mean, I'm all for comfort. But yeah, I don't know. I said it on a past live stream. Some people shouldn't be in spandex because it looks like two fighting to get out of a burlap sack.
But here's the thing. These are people you ain't going to never see again.
Yeah.
More than likely. And who cares what they think?
Yeah. Well, they say that, like, it's like, say, dance like nobody's watching. But I've been one of those people laughing at people dancing that can't dance. I look like an epileptic jogger when I try to rock and roll dance. So I just stick to country dancing.
My wife is popped on Facebook. Hush, Rusty. That girl ain't got no business being on my job here.
On my job.
Yeah, I'm on my job. She don't be interrupting me.
I love you, Teresa. Bossy Man says I've been told I'm pretty ugly, and Josh Grover says, "Well, Bill." John Nave says, "Oh, my eyes are now scarred for life."
You can't be scarred for life till you've actually seen it. That mind's eye doesn't work.
Well, I'm wearing my Speedo right now, so. More
God,
scars.
don't get up and go to the bathroom. I tell you, turn the camera off.
Diddly. I got my bucket ready. I'm kidding.
Uh-oh. Hashtag babbling monkey.
Yes, it, dag blabbit. When he first said that, I was thinking, holy wow. We give each other crap, but that was a little strong. It's like, that now it's a dang trend.
In one ear and out the other. That's all I got to say.
Well, I try, but yeah, I can't compete with the chat.
Yeah, don't worry about that chat, man. Just
yes, sir.
Scroll on. TMI.
Babbling monkey.
That's your buddy. Your buddy did that to you.
Yep.
Oh my God, Josh Grover, Deering in a burlap Speedo.
Burlap Speedo, that's funny right there. You talk about redneck. made just myself, can you tell?
Where's old Wes at?
He's got his kids this weekend, so.
Okay. He's still got his kids.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll be on or not, but he was one of the people in the meeting. But that was one reason I didn't start the live stream till when I did, is we had to have that meeting. Apparently, it was 5 p.m. Central Time. They said 6 p.m. I thought it was Central Time, but no, it was Eastern. So I was an hour late to the meeting. So that was a good first showing. Yeah.
Well, that's what I like about being a little person. You don't have to go to meetings.
Well, I'm a little person. Well, in my eyes, I'm a little person. I mean, if we're being technical, my name's known all over the world for my designs, but I don't feel like a celebrity.
I know the feeling.
My brain doesn't work that way. I just.
I know that's it's kind of a freaky thing, because when I used to be on Dave Gatton's panel on occasion for his CNC show, and I got to the Atlanta woodworking show, and people were coming up to me that I had never seen in my life. I didn't know who they were from Adam. They're talking about how I used to laugh at me on that show, and how Dave would always get on me, or somebody tried to get on me about how come I hadn't built that machine yet. How come it was taking me so long to laugh?
I remember that. It stayed in the box forever.
Yeah. And I said, my God, it was freaky that people coming up and tapping you on the back, and you don't even know. Who the hell are you? How do you know me? And it's because of the show. And it's kind of like what I put it akin to celebrities that they're out and about, they're movie stars and all this, and people think they know them,
Yeah.
but they don't, and they know their show personality, but it's kind of freaky like that. I kind of get a little bit about what they go through because
Yeah.
I didn't know any of them people, and they were coming up like they knew me, and it was funny though, in a
It's
good way. No, in
Yeah,
a good way.
it's awesome to be recognized, but
Yeah.
I mean, people, and there again, my personality to know well enough. I very, very rarely toot my own horn, so I should just accept compliments. Like somebody calls me a master, I don't think I'm a master. And to me, although money can be the root of all evil, to me that's part of success is having a dependable income. So that might be another reason why I don't feel famous, is because I'm struggling every month. I know we all do, but
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
all do.
I mean, yes, literally a lot of people know my name because of my designs and selling to people all over the world. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Too much alcohol. Oh, that's right. You don't drink.
Nope. Yeah. Yeah, I burp N-words. Apparently I have some weird issues. But yeah, it's nice to be known, but I mean, I'm not always known for good things, because I used to be known as a spammer, and God knows what I'm known for now. It depends on who you talk to, because there were some vicious rumors going around about me. And people say words don't hurt you. Yes, they do. They can hurt your reputation. They can hurt.
That's true.
Yeah. But there's that. Where are we at?
Christine says, can't wait. Next weekend, the Woodworker Show is going to be in Springfield, Massachusetts, an hour away from him.
Nice. I believe yesterday they had one in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, they're not doing it in Atlanta this year. They pulled completely out of Atlanta. And so that was the one I normally went to, but I'm hoping that they do it in Houston this year. Won't be the same show.
Yeah.
But the same type of vendors and would be there as the woodworking show.
Steve Nealon was preparing to talk crap, but he hit enter too soon. He just did a hashtag. So
he left us hanging. He left you hanging.
I know something's coming. Hello, everyone, says Lawrence Aldridge. Welcome back, Mr. Lawrence. Sorry to take your job there, Russ. I'm just stretching my back.
Quite all right.
Dr. Pepper.
Quite all right. I took a sip of tea while you were talking.
Oh, dagnabbit. Good one. Don't forget to pick your 5 free patterns.
Hey, look at there. Wes Balco. Hello, everybody.
We were just talking about you with your ears burning. Wes, if you want the link, it's in the Team Scroll Saw discussion thing. Oh, he said he was being nice. I didn't introduce him. I was being nice. Well, I'll give you that one. All right, so Wesley Balco, the coach, Scroll Saw Cafe, and 1/5 of Team Scroll Saw live show is in the chat. Wes, if you want the link, it's in the discussion, whatchamacallit. But he does have his kids with him. But yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Chris is saying that Peachtree pulled out of the woodworking show for the second year. That hurt it. I just wonder, is Peachtree a big part of it in other locations besides Atlanta?
Yeah, I know that's what really derailed Atlanta, is them pulling out of there. Portal Woodwork says Tennessee 14, Tennessee Titans 14, New England Patriots 13 at halftime. Wesley Balco says
I'm pulling for Tennessee.
They're watching Stranger Things, and by God, some things have higher priority than watching old Charlie scroll. Yes, I'll get back to scrolling. Yeah, I called Wesley a butt nugget when his kids were on the show. So, I could have gone a lot worse on language, but I did ask him today. I said, I hope you didn't mind me saying butt nugget. I want, because when I grew up, the word fart was like a bad word. It's like, so I don't know who's into what and what, blah, 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 blah. Crap, says Chris Nealon. Because
Josh Grover said he never heard of Peachtree.
I hadn't either until the Atlanta Woodworking.
That's a real big woodworking conglomerate where you can get in all kinds of woodworking tools and everything. Chris Nealon's telling me about it. They got all kinds of tools for woodworkers. It's a big company.
Yep. All right, go and get the scrolling thing.
Yeah, Josh, they were the vast majority of the woodworking show in Atlanta was all Peachtree products that were in, plus other vendors as well, but mostly Peachtree had all kinds of products out there.
I wish they would do one in Texas so I could see all my friends.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm waiting to see if they're going to do the Texas woodworking show like they did a couple years ago.
It'd be awesome if they could do one in Dallas because that's more doable than Houston. I've done Houston, but
Yeah,
well, not done Houston like Debbie did Dallas, but
well, Dallas is 6 hours away from me, and Houston's only 2 hours,
well,
hour and a half.
Houston's about 4 hours for me, and Dallas is about an hour and a half, and that's much more
Yeah.
doable.
You're about the same as me. Houston's about an hour and a half for me. Yeah, Christina says when you look online at Peachtree, have somebody else hold your credit card because you'll be spending some money.
I
That's true.
don't
That's
even
true.
have a credit card for that reason.
Yeah, that's true. Well, my wife, I told her we were sitting in here in the office last night and she was working on some stuff. I was on the computer and she said, I just pulled the trigger on that 14-day cruise to Panama Canal.
Yeah, I saw that 600 something days away.
Yeah. And I said, you could sit right there in your chair and spend money. You don't even have to go out of the house. Yeah.
That's the beauty of Amazon and other stuff.
Josh Grover says, Chris, if I go on the woodworking website, my wife keeps my credit card.
My wife and I, a lot of couples have joint bank accounts and this and that, but my wife was screwed over really bad by her ex-husband, so we keep our money separate. So I always realize just how broke I am. That's what I talk about when I say I literally have no money. I'm not lying. But she got burned so bad by her ex that we keep our money separate. So these things happen.
Yeah, it does. I usually open my wallet and find dust. I have to. My wife takes care of the bills, and with my retirement and all that kind of stuff, she handles all that. And when I open my wallet, I got a credit card and a bunch of dust in my wallet. That's it. Usually, unless I sell something.
I don't even bother opening my wallet.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Hashtag silent monkey.
Josh Grover said, Charles, I'm in Northwest Illinois, and the only show I know of is the Midwest Scroll Saw Expo in Dubuque in August.
Yep, I almost went there one year, but good old anxiety. Yeah. People probably getting tired of me talking about anxiety, but it really does affect a lot of crap in my life.
Yeah, I hear you.
I planned to go to it, but it didn't happen.
That's the one that Lee Niden's always hawking,
promoting. Well, I know he did one, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. That's probably the one you're thinking of. But.
Okay, yeah, okay. I think this one is the one that Steve Good goes to or has gone to.
Yeah, well, one thing I didn't understand is when Lee Niden basically publicly guilt tripped people for not going to the Ohio one. It's like, dude, that ain't how you get people wanting to go to a show. People got lives and everything, and they can't show, but he was sitting there saying, well, that was a waste of time. Maybe 2 people showed up. It's like, God dang, show some professionalism. Good God, on a stick. And I know I have room to talk about professionalism, but I know people that know me or watch me long enough. Behind my humor, I have professionalism. That's what I call it anyway. I have my issues, but okay.
Charles Thomas asking, how thick is the wood you're working on now? I'm assuming he's talking about you.
Yep,
That's
quarter
a
inch.
quarter inch
Maple ply. It's called quarter inch, but it's technically 3/16. But yeah, quarter inch.
Mm-hmm. Now I've got a place here locally. It's a cabinet shop where I get a lot of my hardwoods and stuff that I use to work on. I can get maple ply over there, but it turns out that it's maple veneered and it's MDF in between the veneers.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of MDF.
I really don't like that. I don't like working with it. I'd rather have solid maple plies.
Yeah.
And stuff. That maple veneer with the MDF in between, to me, was not worth it at all. I tried it. Nah, I didn't want it.
I hear you.
Porter Woodworks. David said, I've adopted another antique craftsman scroll saw today. What are you going to do with it, Dave? Or should I say, how many do you need?
Yeah, David loves to go to those auction things and get.
Yeah.
I may have just screwed that blade up by hockey sticking it. Oh, well.
Well, that gave everybody a chance to take a drink whenever you break it.
Yeah. Oh, diddly. Lawrence Alders wanting to know if we have craft shows in Texas. I don't know because I don't get out much. John Nate says, my fiance, God rest her soul, had anxiety, PTSD. I know exactly what you mean, Charles. Yes, sir. Okay, sorry I interrupted you, Mr. Rasmidez.
Well,
oh, diddly.
Zach Pierce says, behind your what, Charles? Laugh out loud.
I don't even remember what I said. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know. Maybe he was talking about your humor and your professionalism. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Oh, something like that. I don't remember what the heck I said.
Behind your humor, you have professionalism.
Oh.
I'm wondering if that's what he's talking about.
Something like that. I don't know. He said LOL, so I don't know.
Charles Thomas, I'm going back to pallet wood and glues.
Yep. That's more readily available. But some people swear against pallet wood. Some people swear for it.
David says, I'm going to set that scroll saw beside the other 5. For what it's worth, those Sears ones, they're not bad entry levels.
Yeah.
Or at least they weren't. I don't know about now.
My dad has the old pin-in style, but it works. I mean, I think we put the adapter on it, but yeah, he's got an older Craftsman.
Yeah.
He's had it for years, but I didn't know it, and I didn't know what a scroll saw was till 1997. I was 27 years old. Way behind, says Harnell Media.
I guess he means on your cutting.
Oh.
Maybe he's got to say something clear about that.
God forbid anybody should point out. People do not remember that I have to stop every now and then to stretch and put on my makeup and stuff like that. Oh.
Josh told David, you're going to need another shop for all your saws to reside in.
Man, Rick Hutchinson has hundreds and hundreds of things. Rick Hutchinson is the epitome of too much money. He has antique. He has pretty much every scroll saw ever made, and antiques and all kinds of stuff. I think last I heard he has over 200 scroll saws.
Wow.
Yeah, and I give him heck about that. I'm just envious. But you can only use one at a time, by golly.
You can only use one at a time, unless you're doing a class or something like that. But
yeah, I've got this thing for me, a 30-inch Excalibur. I've never even used it. It's 30-inch Excalibur.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I got it from Jerry Brown. I made payments on it, and but it's going to have its place someday because I cut gigantic pieces.
I remember him saying it a long time ago that you got that saw, or you saying one. I don't remember which.
First thing I did was paint it glossy black because I love glossy black. It was just something to do. I thought the color green was kind of ugly.
And that's a good saw. There's no doubt about it. Tim Carp says, I just worn out. My Craftsman can't find parts. You could probably look on ereplacements.com. They have a lot of parts, and they did Craftsman as well. So try there. If you can't find them there, you're going to get you a new saw.
Or eBay sometimes.
Yeah. Be Happy Woodworking and Honeybees.
I believe that's John LaCourse. I could be wrong.
I have seen that name before, but I don't remember where I saw it.
He also makes a paste, what the heck, beeswax.
That's probably what it is. I've seen it on Facebook.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while. Oh.
So it is John. Hi, John.
I believe he's a Makers Media Network member as well.
Josh Grover told Tim Carp, take one of David's saws to fix yours. That might work.
And walk away with a nub.
Oh, he's getting him an Excalibur to come in, so he's really not going to worry too much about the Craftsman anymore.
Well, that's cool. It's fun getting a new tool.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of thinking about the that same thing you're looking at, that Seiko drill.
Yep.
I'm thinking about that for myself as well. I hate using that hand-fired drill.
Yeah. Mine's heavier. Dang heck.
Yeah, I get my arm gets tired of holding it, and I have to stop and take a break on drilling holes.
Yep, especially on my design.
one of your patterns, they wear you out.
Yep. I got to get feeling back in my arm before I can continue.
Charles Thomas, I had a 3-wheel Craftsman, no parts around.
He might be talking about one of those belt sanders.
Sounded to me like a wheelbarrow.
A 3-wheel?
3-wheel wheelbarrow.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you've almost got it knocked out.
No, we still have hair at the bottom.
Ah.
Yep, big old ponytail.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I carry one.
Almost got the little bitty hairs knocked out.
Yeah.
But we still have.
Josh Grover said, I've been looking at the Seiko drill for 3 years now. Wife said, if nothing goes wrong this year, I can get one in August.
Yay. Yeah, I still have this detail here to cut out.
Ah, okay.
We're going to get there.
Well, I actually saw that drill at the Houston Woodworking Show a couple of years ago when I saw you there, Charles.
Yep.
I believe he had it there.
I was too busy drilling over the Seiko saw. I didn't even notice the drill.
I asked him would he take 2 DeWalts in on trade and 1 Delta. By God, nope, wouldn't do it. I said, son of a gun. God
that was a treat to finally get to meet him because his reputation preceded him because excellent customer service, always, all that stuff. And, so it was a treat to get to meet him. And he said he'd heard my name and it was a treat to meet me. And that swelled my head a little bit. I was kind of shocked. I didn't, there again, I don't like to overinflate how well known I am. God, I don't even feel right talking about it, but him having heard of me was flattering.
Yeah. I mentioned to him when I was there that I said, yeah, you seen Charles Deering around that corner? He said, I hadn't been around there. And I said, that's one guy that could benefit from one of them saws.
Seriously? You told him that?
I did. I was telling him, I was trying to hint to the son of a gun. I said that you'd be a good one to get some sponsorship out of.
Between you and Steve Good, that might have been how I ended up with one. But he is not sponsoring me, and I didn't want to push that because, that's not my call to make.
Right.
I do promote him regardless.
I tried.
Well, I appreciate it, but no, Yeah, I told him from the beginning. I just admire your company, your customer service. Tim and Joe in the shop portion. His customer service, his product. So I don't have to be sponsored in order to promote what he has and this and that.
Yeah.
Somebody we both know is officially sponsored. I do know that. I don't know what the details of it, but I'm envious of that.
Who's officially sponsored?
The quote unquote my old buddy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I didn't hear if you'd named a name. I didn't hear it because I was looking at the chat.
Well, he often names sponsors that actually aren't sponsors. Right. Like some of his sponsors are just people that give things for giveaways, but that's the extent of it.
Right.
And I don't want to get it.
True.
Yeah. He actually is sponsoring him. Go ahead.
Lawrence Aldridge asked when do they have the craft show in Houston? I think you can look up online the Texas Woodworking Show, or Woodworking Shows of Texas,
something like that,
and find it. You can Google that, and it should come up. I haven't done it yet, but I'm pretty sure you can.
And Ray Seymour, the guy we're talking about, that technically the Seiko is pronounced Seiko because it's
right.
Play off of his last name, Seymour. But he's located in Rockwall, Texas. So if we have a Texas show, hopefully he'll be there, and I'd love to see him again.
Oh, he probably will. That's not far from where he's at.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, I don't remember. And I think Rockwall, Texas is a neighborhood of 2 hours from me. I don't remember. I've been there once. It's a surprisingly small shop.
Mm-hmm.
I was picturing some gigantic warehouse because of how well known he is, but no, it's just a comfy little shop.
It's a little family-owned business. It ain't real big, I don't think.
Yeah, right up there in the front is where most of the things are displayed, and there's a little counter, and then in the back is where they're putting the saws together and stuff like that. And it's a good little operation, by golly.
Yeah, I was really hoping he'd take them saws on trade-in.
Yeah.
But I ended up selling them anyways, but I was hoping he'd give me a good trade-in on them and let me get that Seiko, but he wasn't going for it.
Yeah,
okay, I tried.
He's an awesome guy. That was so awesome to get to meet him. I mean, I was a typical fanboy. Same thing when I met Steve Good in Atlanta. Me and Steve. Now in Houston, that was the first time I had ever spoken to or seen Ray Seymour, but I had heard his name, Steve Good. When I met him in Atlanta, we had been talking for years, and I was starstruck there. Not, mainly. Well, it was part starstruck, and holy crap, I finally get to meet the guy I've been talking to for years. So that was the treat. I mean, I hugged him. I ain't ashamed to admit it. He wanted to take me out to dinner and wine and dine me. I said, no, this is professional. I'm kidding. No, it was completely. It was just awesome to get to see Steve Good. Go ahead and take a drink because I can't find the stupid pilot hole.
Lawrence Aldridge says, why I was asking him, my older brother lives close to Houston. I don't drive, but they said they would come get me.
Oh,
that'd be a good deal.
Yeah, it's always awesome to get to meet people.
They have a lot of at that show. They have a lot of vendors. They don't have as many as they did at the Atlanta Woodworking Show. Yeah. But the venue that they were at was a little smaller, and so they couldn't get as many vendors in there if they had to. But they had quite a few of CNC companies there.
Are you able to multitask? Because I'm not. Because I'd love it if you could Google Houston Woodworking Show and see if there's going to be another one scheduled.
I'll do that
if you don't mind, because I would love to go to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to hook that up. I know Wes said he was going to put it on his, I think, Scroll Saw page.
Well, he might be like I am. He might be like me, best of intentions during the live feed, and then you forget everything after the live feed's over. All right. So we're almost done here up here at the top. I mean, I still got to do a little bit of detail right in here, but the bigger cuts are about to be done at the top.
Okay, I've just found it.
Please tell me it's not very far in the future.
It's not. It's actually May the 1st through the 3rd.
Wait.
Texas, the woodworking shows of Texas.
So it is coming back to Houston.
Right.
Does it have a location yet?
Shrine Arabia Temple Ballroom. It's on Harwin Drive. Okay, well, I've been on the Harwin
so it's not
Drive.
the same location.
It's not the same location.
Okay, so I'm gonna look into that, and I'm gonna do everything I can to go. I won't have a booth because I don't have that kind of standing or finances, but
right,
I would love to be there.
It's got the address on the front page at the woodworking show of Texas.com.
Can you put that in the YouTube chat, or will it not let you?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna copy and paste it.
If it won't let you, message it to me, and I'll post it in there.
Okay, let me do it. I think I can do it.
Right. Heck yeah, man! I want to go to that.
I do too.
Josh
Grover. There it is.
I
just put it in there.
Josh Grover said, just got back in time from filling my cup. Apparently when I couldn't find the pilot hole. Lawrence Alder says, I also like old hand tools, but none around here. Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes these woodworking shows have them.
That's a shame.
There is a following for those old hand tools. Did it not work?
I put it in, but it went up way up in the top of the chat instead of at the bottom down here.
Okay,
it's trying to catch up.
Oh, I was gonna say if it won't show up on the chat, message it to me on Facebook and I'll copy and paste.
I did put it in. It went in, but like I said, the YouTube chat that I'm looking at now is way behind where we were on the StreamYard show.
Yeah, StreamYard. People told me it lags going from YouTube to StreamYard as far as the comments go.
I will put it in again as soon as this gets to the chat where we were.
All right.
Okay, let me put this now.
Well, I'm excited to know that now, but I hope
there we go.
Notice people may save up to go because I would love to meet as many of y'all as possible.
I just put it in, so it should be. At least it's on the YouTube chat anyway. It should be there.
Josh Grover saying, I wish there was some woodworking shows around me. Good woodworking shows. He's in Illinois, Northwest Illinois, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can go to the woodworking show in Springfield, Massachusetts. How far is that from you?
However far Massachusetts and Illinois are.
That's probably not that far from him. It's probably far, but not. It depends.
Not as far as Houston.
Not as far as Texas to Atlanta, Georgia.
I really, really, really want to go to that Houston one because the more opportunities I have to meet people. But I did notice, not that there has to be a bunch of big name people, but a lot of, I met some people that knew my name. And that was flattering. Keith Busen, Guy McDonald, Alan Barr.
Oh yeah, Alan Barr.
I got to see you again. I got to meet Billy Ellis, and he was one of my oldest friends, and I finally got to meet him.
Laney Shaughnessy was there for digital woodcarver CNC stuff.
Yes, sir.
There were 2 or 3 different CNC companies there showing their wares, plus a lot of regular woodworking vendors, companies.
Yeah. Steve Good was there. Now, at the time, Steve Good, and Wes Balco were there for that company that was sponsoring me, which I won't promote. Mm-hmm. So I don't know the setup this coming year, but yeah,
right.
See Steve Good again, of course, and you, of course, and anybody I can.
Josh says Springfield is only 1,200 miles from him. Well, we won't be going to that one.
I'm one of these people, and I might be talking too much. Don't go there, Steve. I might be talking too much, but I'm not one of these people who says, come meet me at such and such. For me, it's about me getting to meet them. So, let's meet up.
Lawrence Aldridge. It did say, and I did put it out in the chat, but I put the show, but the actual date is May the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2020. The address and the date is on the front page of their website, the woodworking show of Texas.com.
The woodworking show of Texas, or just woodworking show of Texas?
I think it's the woodworking. Well, all right. Now hang on a second. It's woodworking show. The is not there.
Okay, woodworkingshowofTexas.com.
Yeah.
I know I won't be able to afford a booth, and I don't even know why I would have one unless I was just handing out patterns. But I definitely want to go. I hate to say this, but I'm almost hoping my former sponsor ain't there because I don't want to deal with that tension. Not that I don't want them to help the community. I just, yeah. All right. Wood Dan is here. His name is Dennis. You're so quiet.
Everybody's glued to your picture, man.
Hi, ma'am.
She is not feeling very well, so I'm not going to mess with her.
Well, I was just saying hi. I wasn't saying go get me a sandwich.
I ain't messing with her.
But when I go to these woodworking shows, I do bring my wife because I wouldn't be able to make trips like that without her, at least most of the time. It's funny when I take her places with me, like doctor's appointments where I think I might get nervous because I don't know what's going on. I'll take her and I say I brought my support animal. She loves it when I say that. No. You animal. By the way, Russ, you're muted if you've been trying to talk.
Well, of course I was. I forgot I had muted the damn thing. Okay.
When you didn't respond, I looked over. Yep, he's muted.
Yeah, I was talking the whole time too, by God. Nobody tells me in the chat that Russ, you muted.
Well, they can't tell you're talking because they can't see your little thumbnail. Only I can.
Oh, they can't. Oh, okay.
Even other people on the panel can't see your thumbnail. Only I can.
You mean if I'm like this with you on full screen, nobody can see me pick my nose and scratch my butt?
Nope. But they know
perfect. Now. That's what I needed.
Yep. They can see me do those if I chose to do it so on camera, but no, nobody can see you. They can hear you though. Oh.
All right. Well then.
I'm gonna stand up and stretch now.
Josh Grover says, Russ, stop pressing buttons. I have a bad habit of that.
Yes, he does.
Pressing the wrong one. I've done that twice. I hit the wrong dadgum button and got myself completely out of the whole system. Twice.
Just a couple times. Yep. And he was in an awesome mood when he came back.
You know, I was going to say something a while ago. I was talking and I had a reason. Now I've lost it. Man, that aggravates.
I was talking about my wife coming with me, support animal doctor.
Yeah. That was the like I said, that was the first time I'd ever met your wife.
Oh yeah, and you did get to meet her finally. Yeah,
I did. Yeah, she, like we said, I've talked to her on Hangouts and I've seen her on Hangouts back in the old days, and but that was actually the first time I'd actually met her in person because she didn't come with you when you picked up that lathe.
Yep.
And so that was the actual first time I'd ever met your wife, and I see why you wanted her to be your wife, but I just can't see what she saw in you.
I knew that was coming. I love you too, Russ.
Way to get that in.
I'm glad you're tickled. Yes, to me, she's gorgeous as all get out. She has the sweetest personality. None of it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
When she meets people, she makes them feel like she's known them all their lives. But she doesn't like me, so there's that.
Well, therapy you did have one problem, huh? Therapy wife, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all right.
All right, let me take one swig of Dr. Pepper. We're going to get going again. But some of these cuts are bigger, so it looks like more is getting done. And I'll back up the camera here in a second to give everybody an idea what it's looking like. I think we'll finish this tonight. Not quickly, but it'll get done. Well, tonight in the U.S., it might be. It's 6 hours ahead, so that would be 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 3:30 in the morning right now in the UK. I wanted to get started earlier, but God forbid CenturyLink should show up when they say they would. And I hate it when they say between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. It's like, really? Can you narrow it down a little bit?
No, they did the same thing here with Spectrum. It was always a 8-hour wait. Sometime in there, we might be there on time.
But for them not to even call kind of irks me, but we don't have any other options for a provider out here, so just kind of stuck with them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm glad that that's not the only game in town for us anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Cut that cough on camera.
But all right. There were some other pilot holes I had trouble finding, but nobody knows about it because I didn't say it unless they were paying attention. You're muted again, by the way, Russ. When you're quiet, I know you're muted.
I know I was muted. I did it on purpose.
Making sure.
I'm talking to the wife, and I didn't want that on camera.
Yeah.
Somebody keeps trying to put the old moo back in, but it's quack now.
Yeah. Well, I like moo, but I try to avoid all of it because not every viewer knows what that is. So I don't talk about it too much. Not that it's a secret.
Yeah, the woodworking show was the first time I met Wes as well.
Yep.
I didn't know who he was from Adam.
I didn't either till he got on with Bear Wood.
Oh, okay. That's how you met him. I thought you'd known him for a while.
Nope. So if nothing else came out of that part sponsorship, that did. So.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I asked him, how long you been Scroll Song? He said 10 years. I said, well, I can't help you then.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for longer than me.
Yeah, I brought Miter Mike to Bear Wood's attention, and I haven't heard from him much since then because they keep him busy, I reckon. That and life. But he messaged me earlier, but I missed it because I was napping.
Yeah, he's had some things go on in his personal life.
McKenna?
Yeah. So he's been busy with that. John says, Charles, what's the biggest pattern you've done so far?
Well, okay.
Pretty big.
Well, big as far as cutouts or how
size.
many?
I'm thinking he means size.
Well, as far as the amount of sheets of paper it took to do, the biggest one I ever did is called the Sons of Anarchy Collage. It's every character. It's very, very, very detailed, but probably the largest one I did, I believe, on the website and even the catalogs and stuff like that, it's called Mega Train. That was 12 sheets of paper. And usually only my patterns are 1 or 2 sheets. So that was a very, very detailed piece.
Wow.
Yep, 12 sheets of paper.
There you go, John.
Really? You going to join in that quack out in the chat? Really? I'm just kidding.
I didn't realize when I first started reading the comments to you that I had to go to the YouTube one to be able to put anything in the comments. You can't do it from StreamYard. I can't.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I just now realized that. So now I keep them both open.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you wanted to give me that Houston Woodworking Show link, I could put it in the chat from my end.
Yeah,
I don't know
put
if
it in there twice. So if anybody wants it, I'll do it again.
Or we could just keep saying it. WoodworkingShowOfTexas.com.
Yeah.
Show or shows? Probably just
no S.
Show. No S. WoodworkingShowOfTexas.com.
Yep. Everything you need to know is right on the front page.
I'm going to do everything I can to get there, so I'm going to promote the heck out of it, even though I have no connection to them. Just, something to do.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely do my best to be there.
Yay.
I have a cruise in April. I have to check the date, but I think it doesn't hit into May. So
yeah. Well, hopefully my swollen face will be fixed by then.
Well, just put a patch over it, man.
Well, I can't put a patch over my whole face. Some people would like me to cover my whole face.
I just meant your eyeball, man.
Yeah. But that's my good eye. That's my good eye, so I'll have to uncover it to know who the heck I'm talking to.
Mm.
After this cut, I'll pull the camera back a little bit temporarily to show everybody what it was looking like.
Am I seeing the comments from both YouTube and Facebook?
Yes, sir. Facebook is not usually as active as YouTube.
Right. I was thinking because I have green icons and blue. I was just wondering.
Yeah, blue will be Facebook and red will be YouTube.
Josh Grover, wear a bigger stocking cap. Cover your. Boy, I tell you what, with friends like that.
Yep. I
dig it, Josh. I enjoy doing the little jig every now and then.
Yep. I would like to think by then they'll have my dang swelling issue fixed, even if they don't know what's causing it, and hopefully they'll at least reduce it. I'm not pretty to begin with, but
I can attest to that.
Love you too. Here you go. Okay, I'm gonna pull the camera back so everybody can see what we're dealing with, and I'll probably have to reclamp it because they always love to fall when I move the camera too far. That is what we're working with so far.
That's outstanding.
Thank you, sir. And then we've got that lower half to do, but the detail isn't small, but it is still detail. But I got some more to do at the top. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to reset my clamps. Are just about to fall off.
I got some fireworks going off in the backyard somewhere.
Yeah, it sounded like World War III out here a few minutes ago.
It just now started popping them. I said, God dang, man.
Yeah, I can hear them.
You can?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're going off.
Sounds like your wife's in the next room shooting a dog or something. Sorry. Okay, let me get the stupid clamps.
It's not her. I'm hoping to see some of them pork chops coming in the near future.
Hint, hint.
Well, she'd ask about it. We've been buying these. They're called wafer thin. They're pork chops, but they slice them thin.
Really?
Like a 1/16 of or an 1/8 of an inch thick, and they just taste just like pork chops, and they are outstanding. So I'm hoping to get some of those.
Cool. I only like pork chops if they're tender. Josh Grover, where am I at? What Dan says, wow, outstanding. Thank you, sir. Josh Grover says, you got a lot more cuts to be able to get done tonight. Agreed. So this could be one of them long live streams unless I fall asleep. So there's that. Don't you do it. Damn it. I was waiting for you to pull that thing to you. Dag it. Some of these little bitty details I can't do because I didn't allow enough room to put a pilot hole, but oh well. Little bit tiny details.
I wondered how you was going to work that.
For most, there's only one there and a couple over here that I can't do, but it's because they fall outside that border, and I don't want it to look like I went off the line, so to speak.
Right.
It doesn't alter the look of the piece by any means.
In a case like that, when you get done, what, you just sand those marks off?
Yep, and then putty over the holes if I don't want those holes to show, but there's worse problems to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I should have drawn the line here before I did the pilot holes, and I would have cut it a little different. It would have been an eighth of an inch or more bigger. Yeah, so, okay, here we go.
I don't think I've ever asked you, Charles. So what actually made you first start doing scroll sawing? What was the impetus for doing it?
Somehow I got a scroll saw pattern catalog in the mail, and was bored enough to look through it, and never heard of a scroll saw before that. So the first thing I did was went to a copy shop and enlarged one of the patterns from the catalog and did it on a 4-foot tall piece of plywood, half-inch thick. I did a tiger's head with a jigsaw, or saber saw to some people, but yeah, that's how I got started. And then I got me an old cheapy Delta thing and went from there. And the rest is history.
I don't think I've ever heard that story before.
I'm surprised you hadn't, because I've said it a few times.
I haven't. I've never. That's why I was asking you. I've never heard what was the actual first impetus to you ever picking and getting started in the scroll saw world.
I don't even know how I ended up with a catalog in the mail, but I'm glad I did. Because now I got all these supposed friends dogging me, but hey, at least they know me.
By God, that's true. If they're looking long enough to dog you out, at least you get a view out of it.
Absolutely. 30 seconds is all it takes, even if you hate me. But some people won't even bother watching the video. They'll just click a thumbs down. But unlike some people, I'm not butthurt by thumbs down.
Well, Herb Hooper says, he'll be right back. It's coffee time.
Yep.
And Josh Grover said, Herb better make another pot.
Mm-hmm.
How many cuts you got left? It's going to be a while.
Yeah. Now, see, if y'all drank every time I did a cut, my God, y'all be in
oh, man. I'd be going through 2 of these gallon jugs.
Hospital or graveyard.
Half-gallon jugs.
If it was alcohol. All right.
I'm going to let this sit for a while.
Okay.
Got to save it. It's got to make it last all night, it looks like. And I know I might have told you in years past that reason I asked you about your start in scroll sawing is my start was a little bit similar to that. Not really, though. I actually went on Etsy. I was going Etsy for some reason. I don't know what I was looking for.
Tutus?
Nah, not tutus, by God.
By God.
I was looking for something that had nothing to do with woodworking. I hadn't even started woodworking at that time. It never even crossed my mind. And I saw somebody was on there. I was scrolling through, and somebody was selling some woodworking products, and that they made plaques and portraits and stuff. And I saw a portrait, and I thought, man, that looks pretty cool. I think maybe I can do that.
Nice.
And never had a clue of what to do or how to do it. I hadn't met you or Mark Stallings or anybody yet. And I picked up a little scroll saw at Harbor Freight and went to going on it. And I did a portrait of my brother. And it looked a lot like him. It wasn't a pattern that was, nowhere near your quality, but it looked like him for what I could get. I blew his picture up and went from the neck up. And I showed it to him after I was done. And he said, man, I don't look any better in wood than I do in real life. I said, you sure as hell don't.
That's funny right there.
I gave it to him. I said, I don't know what he done with it. He probably put it like you told me one time when I did that portrait of you. Put it above the urinal.
Yeah, something like that. I'd forgotten you did that.
Yeah, I did one. You put a half portrait of yourself.
Yeah, it was crappy.
A picture on there, and I said, what the hell? That might make a good pattern. So I carved it.
Yeah, I was proud of you. The picture itself, not your work, but the picture you worked from was completely crappy. I can't even imagine I put it on the internet, but I did. Wood Dan says this internet thing is great. It's better than TV. Sweet. I mean, nothing is on TV right now. Josh Grover
absolutely says, not a blasted thing.
Josh Grover says we'd be running out back of the shop to water the cat. By golly, I may have to get my jacket here soon, and I left that in the house. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that now if you don't mind. Or even if you do mind, I need to go get my jacket. So get your makeup ready.
I don't know. I believe I told y'all that my neighbor, before he passed away, he had a shop and he liked to tinker in there. He wasn't a woodworker by any means, but he liked to piddle around with stuff. And we'd be all sitting on his front porch of his house, laughing and joking, and they were all 20 years or more older than I was.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd have me laughing, and I'd be falling off my chair laughing, And he'd say, he'd stop, he'd get up, he said, I got to go see a man about a dog.
Yeah.
And I said, I asked his brother-in-law, I said, hey, brother-in-law, what the heck is he talking about? See a man about a dog. He said, that means he got to go to the bathroom.
I've never understood the correlation myself.
I never did either. But that's every time he said that, I said, well, now he's going to the bathroom. He'd walk in his shop to go to the bathroom. And I said, he ain't got no toilet in there. What's he doing? He's got a funnel with a long tube on it. And he poked a hole in the back shop wall, and he poked that tube out.
That's funny.
He go take a leak in the funnel, and it spew outside on the ground. And I said, man, I ain't going in that shop no more. I said, there ain't no reason. That's why it smelled like pee all the time.
My dad actually has a PVC tube built in to his shop. It was put there when the shop was being built. It goes through the foundation into the ground.
That'd probably be better, but it wouldn't smell like going to the bathroom all the time.
Yeah, he pours bleach down that tube every now and then, but I don't mean to run off, but nature's calling, and I need to get a jacket.
All right, well, go ahead and take care of nature first, then get the jacket.
Yeah, I don't want to mix up the two. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, John has so giddy, huh? That's funny. Now, I've never heard anybody say it like that. I got to go see a man about a dog. That was weird. That was a strange one on me. But these were one of the old man that was saying that was an old Cajun guy, and his brother-in-law was an old Mexican guy, and they're both married to Cajun women. And we'd all get sitting out on that porch, and I mean, they told some stories that were so funny. And like I said, I was 20 years or more younger than they were. And I'd be sitting out there listening to them. And man, I'd be laughing so hard. And, it's funny because my stepson was sitting on the porch of my house watching us. And he told me, he says, why do you go over there so much? I don't see the attraction. And I said, man, you're about 20 some odd years younger than me, 30 years younger than I am. And you'll sit out here and joke. And I said, it's the same thing over there. It's funny. So anybody else got anything they gonna put in there? Tell me something. Wet jacket. That's why I told him to go ahead and take care of that part first. Let me see if I can look up for Josh the woodworking show. See you later, Tim. Good night. Josh Grover. I just looked up the woodworking shows that we were talking about, and not the one for Texas. This is the one that goes all over the country. And they have a schedule. Let's see. Kansas City, is that how close is that to you? That's only in a few days though. Indianapolis, Indiana. St. Louis, Missouri is not far from you. So they have shows near you. So if you're of a mind, there are some shows that are not that far from you, I don't think. Let me see if I can get this. I'll put this in there. I'll put the schedule in there for you. I just put the woodworking shows schedule in the chat. It should be coming up, and it's got several. St. Louis is 5 to 6 hours away. There's a couple more that's not that bad. That's not bad at all. I have done that myself, but I've driven from Southeast Texas all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, and back for that woodworking show. So driving is not nothing new to me, but 5 to 6 hours away, that's the same distance as from my house to Dallas, Texas. That's not bad. I don't know about the others, but I put it in there. You can check it. Uh-oh. Charles gave us something that we don't need an image of in our head. That St. Louis one is probably your best bet, but that's a good place to go to see and meet people and check out the tools and the shows that they do, the demos. They put demos on. They have teachings. It's pretty cool. Hashtag stinker. Oh. Too late. Would then be more specific. Oh, hashtag monkey poo. I'm surprised you didn't put babbling monkey poo. I put the link. I'm surprised it hasn't showed up yet. I put it in the woodworking chat, live chat. Believe it or not, I've been to 3 of those, the big woodworking shows, and in Atlanta, and you know, I didn't know hardly anybody except for a few people from the Hangouts when I went the first time, And shoot, it's a lot of fun. And they had besides after the show was over for the day, everybody would get together and go out and eat at a restaurant and things like that, and had a good time. And we did that on Friday and Saturday night, and then mostly Sunday, people would finish up the show and go home, that kind of thing. But it was fun. It's a lot of fun, especially if you know somebody or you're going to meet somebody. It was a lot of fun. I wish I still don't see that doggone thing. I know I put it in there. Oh, hang on. There, now it's in. I forgot to push the enter button. Ah! The image in our minds from Charles. Oh, don't. Okay. Don't try not to think. Do the best you can. Used to go to the Fox Chapel show in Pennsylvania. I hadn't been to that. Matter of fact, the only shows I actually been to with woodworking shows were the ones in Atlanta and then the one in Houston. I'm back. I thought about it, Russ. That's funny. Now, y'all going to tell him something when he comes back? He's probably listening. Hopefully, he didn't bring his Dr. Pepper with him and get his newspaper. He ain't going to never get this cut finished. Yeah, Josh, the woodworking show that I just put that link in about is they got shows all over the Midwest and the East Coast. They don't. I haven't really seen them do anything on the West Coast, but East Coast they're in several locations, one after the other, just like one after the other. And like I said, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. You get to go, like I said, you get to go out and eat with all the guys. And the first one I went to in Atlanta, we all ate at a restaurant, or a Mexican restaurant, pretty good sized place, right next to the hotel most of us were staying at. And it was probably close to 200 people in that place, I'm pretty sure. And then the last couple of years, we all went to the uh, in Atlanta there was a Buffalo Wild Wings place, and we got there and said that they wanted at least half your party there before you could be sat down at the tables, and so they ask you how many in your party, and I said I don't know, it might be a bunch. 15 to 30. Well, I told them we might be looking at least 50 or more coming, and they wouldn't sit us at the tables because we had to wait for at least 25 to show up. Of course, they ended up being a lot more than 50, and I thought about it for a little bit, and I told one of the guys with us, I said, "Tell them we're only having about 14, and there's 7 of us here. That's half. Let's go." So we went and sat down and had this big room. We had other people in there besides us, but we were all at one table. We ended up having to have 2 big, long tables to get everybody in. They just all started coming in one after the other, and they just didn't quit coming. That many people were there, and it was a lot of fun, So if you ever get the chance to do an Atlanta show, and for sure, I'm sure it's the same at the other ones as well. Do it. Man, that cold's still getting to me. John, if his wife comes storming in here, then we know he stunk the place. Oh, yeah. Well, if he brings that bucket back, I might have to hang up. Good thing this ain't smelly vision. Oh, you guys are hilarious. I guess he's gone so long. Y'all want me to just get in there and start cutting on this thing? Now I can drink all I want while he's not here. A good old, there you are, Snapple peach tea. Nothing in it but peach tea. If I'd have known he's going to be this long, I'd have sat in the back of the class. Oh, yeah. Don't start with the chocolate chips. Please, God, not that. That was the one thing that got me when he started talking in that damn voice. Oh, man. I might actually get it done tonight if I cut it. No, shit, no. I'm slower than he is with spirals. So if you maybe he is stuck. You might be right. If you abruptly leave, if I abruptly leave, it's because I'm going to get some of them daggum pork chops. He might be stuck. Yeah, that sucker got me with them chocolate pellets. God dang it. It's been a while since I laughed that hard. I had to turn off the microphone, close the camera off so I could laugh my butt off. That was funny. I don't care what anybody says. You think he's locked out of the shop? You think his wife done something to him? Locked him in the bathroom? Come on. Give me ideas. Hey, I hear something. Everybody. Yeah, Lawrence, me too. I'm not that I'm slow with spirals. I have to really concentrate because I will always catch a damn mosquito bite or I get an itch. And as soon as I get an itch, I can't help but scratch it. And then I'll go off the line. I booger something up. Aggravates me to no end.
Well, it's good to be back on the Russ Meadows show. My apologies.
I told him if you didn't come back quick enough, I was going to get there and finish cutting that damn thing for you.
I'm sorry, folks. That one was kind of out of my control.
You didn't bring a bucket back with you, did you?
No.
That was one of the things they thought you might bring the bucket back. So if you bring the bucket back, I'm leaving.
I'd be leaving too. Go hide. Yeah. That the fact that I'm on a live stream, I know they understand the 30-second nature calls, but yeah, I won't go into any more detail than that. But yeah, that was unfortunate. But I'm glad you were here.
Well, in his own inimitable way, Josh brought up, hope you don't bring back chocolate chips.
Good Lord.
And I said, God dang, and then John put up that poor rabbit.
Yeah.
I said, that was the first time that, you almost had me literally falling out of my chair laughing.
Penelope.
Please don't do that again. I said, I have to turn off every camera and microphone because I was falling out of my chair crying, laughing.
And that's why I kept doing it, because I love making you laugh.
You know what? I never didn't expect that. That was something I didn't expect, and it caught me right, boy, and that was it. That's all it took.
Well, it makes you feel any better. I made it up as I went, so I wasn't really expecting it myself. Y'all learned it right as I learned it. Go ahead.
Josh told me to go hide.
Well, I do feel better.
I did put the link for the big woodworking shows in the chat. I don't know if it ever showed up.
Ain't no telling.
I put it there.
I'm glad I had my phone with me so I could let you know why I wasn't back yet. But I'm sorry I had to halfway spell it out.
Yeah, well, I got the point. I did put that in the chat. I don't know where it went. Let me see. Yeah, it's in there. I'm gonna put it again. I'll go down to the bottom and I'll stick it in there again. If anybody wants the schedule of the woodworking shows, if something is close to their area, then they can look on that. And the schedule is right up front. I'll put it in there again.
You don't have to read Josh's latest comment because he's just being friendly per usual.
Yeah. Lawrence, I messed up a lot of patterns. That one pattern broke 10 different places. While using spirals, Lawrence? I did find, and I was thinking about it, and spirals are really good for portraits.
Yep.
And as far as cutting a straight line with them like Charles does, I have a hard time with that. With spirals. But for portraits, they are outstanding, so they have their place.
Yep.
And stuff. But I'm a straight blade guy, but I can use spirals. And on portraits, I use spirals almost exclusively.
Yeah.
But the one thing I have seen with spirals, if you're using spirals and you have a pattern glued to the wood, a lot of times it picks up the pattern and lifts it off the wood.
That's why I started tracing onto the wood.
Right, and see, that's an ideal way to get around that is to just trace it on the wood. It takes longer.
Yeah.
But at least it doesn't pick up the pattern off the wood with a spiral blade. That's one of those things that came to me when I saw Charles doing those, and Wes as well, drawing them on the wood.
Yeah, I think Wes may have picked up that habit from me too.
Yeah, that's an ideal way to do it.
Yeah, if you got a lot of time to kill, anyway.
But I have tried to do the carbon paper routine like you do, and somehow or another something moves. And then when I pull the paper up and look at it, I said, like, God dang, them knives don't even touch like they're supposed to. I get so aggravated.
Well, that's why I tape it down when I'm tracing it.
Well, I think I have it, but evidently I didn't have it, and it didn't work. So I said, oh, crap, this has got to be something to it.
It also sucks when you pull up all the tape and carbon paper and realize there's an area you forgot to trace. That's why I try to use an ink that shows up.
Well, that's the one thing I wanted to ask you, because I saw you tracing those others the other day, and you're tracing them with a dark ink pen. I thought maybe red ink would be better. You can see where you've already been.
Yeah, usually I can see the contrast better than it shows up. Take a dang drink.
Thank you. I was getting kind of dry.
Love you too, Josh. We made up live on the air. Okay, that's how many blades now? 2? I think I was trying to make up for lost time and was rushing.
You can't rush because, things happen.
Well, people want to drink, so I was doing it for them.
Yeah, Steve Good's got a lot of patterns, Lawrence, a bunch of them. And, I've done a lot of his patterns. And, but what I'm really digging now that he's doing, and he hasn't done some in a while, but is his dadgum stick people.
Yeah, those little
Those little bitty stick people that are just blowing my stinking mind.
my stinking mind.
Yeah, I can't help it. He put the first pair out, and I said, "My God, that's so simple,
Yep.
but it's cute, and I like
Yep.
them." And then he's done several of them since. And I told him at the I think it might have been the woodworker show in Houston or something when I talked to him, or maybe it was on a hangout. I talked to him and I said, I said, of all the patterns you've done, the ones I like the most are your stick people.
Yep.
He started laughing. He said, "You'd be surprised how many people tell me that."
Yeah, they're cute. They're simple, and probably could sell pretty well.
God damn, Josh Grover is really keeping an eye on my Snapple level here. I still got enough in there to last me a little while. If not, I got another one in the refrigerator just getting cold.
Prior planning, baby.
That's right. My wife caught a sale on those Snapples, so she got me 6 of them bad boys.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one that drinks out of those gigantic containers. I think even Wes drinks out of a 2-liter Pepsi.
Is that right? I feel sorry for him having to go with Pepsi, but otherwise, size is okay.
I don't see his appeal to Pepsi. It's too acidic to me. By the way, every now and then your audio cracks.
Pepsi. Mine?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just me. Pepsi's too sweet for me. I don't drink Pepsi anymore. I'm not a Pepsi man. I'm a Coke man.
You may want to go up and come back in because your audio is really cracking up.
Oh,
it's not impossible, but I didn't want it to get to that point.
All right, I'll go out.
Love you.
See you later.
All right. I don't want to get dehydrated, says Josh Grover. What Mac Pierce says, well, it's time for me to go. Good night, all. Thanks for the stream, Charles. And thank you for being here, Mac. I'm sorry that I missed a little bit of it because nature doesn't like me sometimes. Luckily, that's the only time that's happened on a live stream, but thank God Russ was here. Go ahead and take a drink for the lost pilot hole. Really? My depth perception is going to heck. There we go. This is another one of those Y-shaped single haircuts. Oh, sorry, Russ. I wasn't looking at the screen. Talk at us, baby.
How am I doing?
So far, so good, sir.
Okay, then.
All right. Oh, Lordy, what the hell did I get myself into? I'm going to finish this tonight because I'm an idiot.
I think you're going to end up finishing it tomorrow.
It may end up being the case, but I'll hold out as long as I can. But I forgot that I hadn't done the lower half of it, so that's part of why we're dealing with this. I feel like I should back up the camera a little bit.
That's where I would get where when you were doing the little hairs on the top of his forehead. It's the little cuts like that give me a case of the you know what.
Yeah,
By the way, the red you know what.
You're still crackling a little bit, but not badly.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. It might be a connection if your wife's doing something internet intensive.
Nah, we don't have that problem. We have fiber optic. So there's no problem with that. I don't think there's anything. Anybody out there in the chat think it's that I'm cracking up with my microphone?
Woodden said he needed to go. Appreciate you being Woodden. And Mac Pierce says nature happens. No worries, my friend. And Josh Grover says this morning in 2 hours he So you finish it tomorrow. Yeah. All right, let me get back on this dang thing after I take a swig of my prune juice.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what I got myself into, but I'll do my dangest. I may have to change the title of it after it's no longer live if I didn't get it finished, because that sounds like a tease.
Harnell Media says, not here. I don't know what that's referring to.
He's saying the audio's not cracking up here, I guess is what he means.
Okay, so I must be good then. It's just in Charles's mouth.
Mouse?
Russ can get you to crack up with the rabbit and chips, but right now you sound fine.
Okay, well, good. As long as they can hear you, that works for me. I mean, I'm a
well, then mind your business, buddy, and get to cutting.
And he told me what for. I mean, it's not crackling through everything you say. It's just the beginning. It kind of misses like the split second of it, but nothing unbearable.
Okay. I don't want to get you started off with the rabbit and the chips, but don't go back to that. Please don't go back to that. Mimi Lord I just came back. I was out in the garage. I was adjusting the new chair. It sure is comfy.
Sure is what?
Comfy.
Oh.
Josh Stoles with Mimi Lord, that chair looks nice. I don't know how you can see it.
Well, I didn't go off the line for this one.
Outstanding.
Yay.
Hashtag no Penelope.
I'm going to have to read it because you're cracking up on my end and I can't. I heard hashtag something.
I said no Penelope.
Oh.
Now John says hashtag Penelope.
That's funny. Penelope. What have I started? Well, that does tell me that there's potential I could lose the live stream since I'm the only one hearing audio issues.
Huh. I don't know why.
Hopefully not. But yeah, I don't either. I'm just glad
I'm brand new. Well, this brand new Blue Yeti should be outstanding.
Yeah, sure. And this is the only time this has ever happened. Take another damn drink because I can't find the damn pilot hole. Damn it. I can feel it.
I was wondering how Josh Grover could see that chair. And Mimi says, thanks. It's the best $15 my daughter ever spent. He told me he's seen it on her Facebook page.
Cool.
I just want to know if she's sitting in there watching your show on like TV or something.
Yeah, some people do that. But of course, that's detrimental to me because they can see when I go off the line easier.
Josh says, Charles, clean out your eyes. You might be able to hear better.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully the connection will hold up because I'm hoping that's not what's going.
Well, if they can hear me and you can't, then I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear you for the most part, but every now and then half of a word is gone. But,
oh, okay. I think that's on
which makes comprehending what you're saying slightly hard sometimes. But
yeah.
Of course, even when I'm clear as a bell, it's hard to comprehend what I'm saying. Me doggy. Less than I'm talking about Penelope and the dog and the cat and all that. You don't want me to go into that?
If you go into that, I might have to mute and turn off the camera.
And get a bucket?
Yeah. Get me something to pick me back up out of my chair.
Yes, sir. And sop up the chair.
Mm. Hey, have you heard from Jamie?
Yeah, he was in the meeting earlier. He's doing better.
Okay.
That's good. But since I got started so late, it's in the UK. It's 6 hours later. So
Right. Eating productive?
I didn't. I think I heard the word productive. I guess he's being
I
productive.
asked what the meeting was productive.
Oh yeah, it was productive-ish. We got a couple more things we need to address, but that'll be next Saturday, and then hopefully we'll have everything lined up to announce publicly all the particulars.
Okay.
I've never had audio issues in this live stream. That's weird.
John has got to go.
Dang it. Appreciate you being here, John.
He's got to be up at 2:30.
Yeah, it's 10:15.
Good night, John.
Good night, John boy. All right, here we go.
Oh, boy, I'm smelling pork chops.
Oh, hell.
I know I'm smelling pork chops.
Yay!
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Do not.
All I heard was
Can
do
you
not.
hear me? Do not acquiesce to John's request before he leaves.
Well, what
He's
did he
asking
say?
he's asking for chocolate chips and Penelope, I'm certain.
I don't know if
You have
I
to
have
let that slide.
I don't know if I
Let
have
that-
the physical energy to do that again.
Thank God. Thank
Sorry.
God. Thank God.
Sorry to disappoint you, John.
Good night, John.
Yeah, I took a long nap, but apparently I still got some left in me because still got that weight of being tired.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, my wife is she's one of the types of people that has to be productive.
Yep.
Doesn't like sitting around watching TV, not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
Well, she's in her case, she's being that she's sick, she doesn't have the energy to do anything. She was sitting in a chair and she said, I just can't stand sitting here in the chair not doing anything. I said, well, no, you know you're sick, right? And I said, you're still on vacation from the holidays.
Yeah.
I said, just relax. But it gets on her nerves that she can't do anything because she just doesn't have the energy for
they call sick. That cabin fever.
Yeah, well, that could be, but in her case, she's just tired.
Yeah, like if you like to stay busy, it makes you feel non-productive.
Yep, that's how she is, and she hates it when I just sit and watch TV.
Being non-productive is part of why I started doing these live streams, or why I continued, because they keep me motivated and looking forward to actually doing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that 9 times out of 10 they're still sitting in a stack, but at least they're getting done.
Oh, yeah. Well, somebody will eventually want to pick one of them up off of you, I'm sure.
That'd be nifty.
Yeah.
I've had 2 people ask about sales, and they didn't respond after I gave them a prize.
That's generally how it is, I have found that's generally how it is. It's worth more to me than it is to somebody else, I guess.
Yeah.
I really don't care one way or the other. If you want it for the price I said, you're great. If you don't, then go to the next one. I don't really care.
Yeah. I care because I need the money, but I won't go too low.
I was just saying, my situation is different from yours. And, I know that you need to make money. And so, but I've already, I've retired and I got my money coming in. I've worked long enough. I don't care what anybody thinks.
Well, then adopt me, dang it.
I can't have another Charles in the family.
Well, I feel you on that one.
Yeah, that's kind of another story because when I first got on your show, back when you had the old show with you and your cohort was co-hosting, well, I think it was probably, I don't know, 1 or 2, 3 shows in after Mark Stallings got me in on the panel that I told y'all, my name's Russ, and that matched your cohort.
Yeah.
And I said, but that's my second match, my middle name. I said, you're not going to believe what my first name is.
Charles.
And you asked me what it was. I said, it's Charles.
Oh, hell.
Charles Russell. And I kind of flipped everybody out. I said, that's why my mother must have got around.
Oh, man. My brother's middle name was Russell. My middle
Is that
name is
right?
Wayne. Yep. My middle name is Wayne.
My brother's middle name is Wayne.
Oh, my God. I think we might be brothers.
Yeah, you're my younger.
I'm your special needs brother.
Yeah, if anybody wants to get rid of a bandsaw, I like to have one, but I ain't got a place to put it. I wish I had a place to put one.
Yeah, I had somebody offer me a free radial arm saw, which I really want, but I don't have the room for it because my shop is so upside down. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do on these cuts here is this one's drawn kind of close to the other one, so I'm going to have to.
Yes.
I'm going to go off the line intentionally. There.
You're going to go on the inside of that line? Leave yourself some room?
Yep.
I thought that because I saw you cutting that one line right on the side of it, and I thought, well, I don't know how he's going to get that one. That's too close.
Yep. I was when I was cutting this one, I was trying to make it a uniform thickness rather than wobbly like I had it drawn, so it brought it a little close to that line. By golly.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost done with the top, except for over on the other side there. Oh, I guess I could turn the camera a little better.
All right, fella, I'm gonna have to go get me some of them pork chops.
Okay.
I'll be back.
I appreciate you being here, sir.
All right, I'm gonna leave the
window
feed
open.
up, so
okay.
Pop right back in.
Much obliged. Much obliged. All right. Y'all are stuck with me. You're welcome. Oh, diddly. Yeah, I'm only slightly worried about losing connection because of his audio. I'm the only one hearing the audio issues, so that's concerning. Could be because I have a dinosaur laptop, but I don't know. But these are brand new headphones, so I know it ain't them. It could be the platform itself, StreamYard, that's having issues. Okay, I'm putting my finger here on the end so that if it wants to vibrate, it'll be reduced. So that's why I'm putting my finger here. And that addresses earlier Florence asked about how do I keep from breaking pieces, is because if I think it might vibrate too much, I'll put my fingers close to the blade. Now, part of the cut is still there, so that's why I'm not putting it right next to the blade. So I'm just going to the tip here. Just the tip. Chocolate chips. Oh, these are old comments. All right, so here we go. Going to intentionally go off the line. Make this slightly narrower than it is, but not by much. You know what? I'm just going to rough it and go on that line. Some people call it brave. Some people call it stupid. I'll go with brave. Oh, man, really? Really? Good Lord. Okay, Josh, you're not allowed in my shop anymore. Good Lordy. I've gone other live streams where I didn't break any, or not more than one. And here I am, just butchered them all. Really, really, really. Josh Grover's wanting Russ to bring back pork chops to share. Could also put a piece of tape over the cut to hold it all together instead of using finger. Yes, that's true, but I don't want to mess with any chance of adhesive being left behind, but I also don't mind just using my finger. So there's that. Lawrence Aldridge, just a second, I got a yawn. Good golly. Lawrence Aldridge says, Mr. Charles, could you show us how you glue your project to a backer sometime when glue to a backer? I get too much glue in place and I cannot get out. That happens to me too. So I only add glue in the areas big enough to where squeeze out will not happen. So that's pretty much how I glue. Josh Grover says, yeah, Lawrence, that would be a good show. That's something, if nothing else, we could address on Team Scroll Saw Live, but yeah, that's not a terrible idea. But nothing really fancy happens with my gluing to a backer. I just maybe not put as to answer your dilemma there, Lawrence. If you just not put as much glue on the little bitty areas and make sure you have enough room for it to have that glue flatten out without squeezing out too far. Usually you just got to reduce the amount of Tennessee won over the Patriots. That's freaking awesome. Welcome back, Portal Woodworks, and hello, Patrick. Josh Grover said, David, what was the final score? Yeah, wow, the Tennessee Titans beat the Patriots. Poor Tom Brady. I don't know if I set the tension, so I'm going to do that now. Tom Brady didn't win? Oh, my. Yep, I set the tension. 20-13. Ha, ha, ha. So that means the Patriots didn't make any points after halftime. It was 14-13 at halftime. Ha, 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 ha. I got no room to talk because the Cowboys weren't even in the playoffs, but dagnabbit. Pretty sure the Eagles will lose their next one, but what do I know? All right, so the New England Patriots lost to the Tennessee Titans 20-13. So I didn't make that area thinner. I cut it the way it was drawn. So it's a little brittle there, but worse problems to have. Where are we at? Okay, Lawrence Alders is leaving. I gotta yawn again. So let me catch up on comments. Brady's ball was fully inflated. That's why he couldn't do anything. That doesn't surprise me. Lawrence says, been a long day. Call it catch all tomorrow night, everyone. Thank you for being here, Lawrence. Everybody's saying goodnight to him. And maybe Lawrence said he doesn't get to go to Disneyland at all. It's funny as hell. And good night, Bill, Aussie man. Good night. So apparently Russ Meadows is stuffing his face while commenting. Just messing with you, Rusty. By the way, for those couple times that I have lost live streams, whenever I notice the live stream has gone dead, I'll stop cutting because I don't want y'all to miss any cuts. But sometimes I don't notice it right off the bat until I go to read comments and then nothing's there. So being that I took such a late nap, the next live stream could be pretty early in the morning, U.S. time, Central. Not guaranteed, just depends on if I'm able to get back to sleep at some point. But be warned that I'm having audio issues on my end trying to hear Russ when he's on the panel. So that tells me the stream itself might be having issues. But you know, if I'm conscious, I'll be back. But let's hope it holds on. Herb Hooper says, you know, I'll be here waiting, and I appreciate you. By golly. Okay, now I'm going to move on over to this detail right here, and then we'll be able to move to the lower half of the pattern. But I have to turn it upside down for that visual comfort. Well, let me go ahead and show it. No, never mind. I'll just show it from there, because if I move the crane too much, it likes to knock the clamps off. So let me get this thing turned around. But I will move the camera once I get it going. Well, either the chat has locked up or nobody's talking. But we'll see what we can get done here. Let me get the camera in the right spot. Where are we at? I could probably go a little bit closer.